the Paraclete of John's Gospel? We all know that the Paraclete is the Holy Spirit. Just read John chapter 14, verse 26. But also read the commentaries, such as Raymond Brown's massive 2-volume commentary. Here they are. Now, size doesn't matter. What matters is the quality of the information and the scholarly work that has gone into this. Raymond Brown has actually shown that many biblical scholars question the identification of the Holy Spirit as the Paraclete. Let me see if I can find you his citation very quickly. If I cannot, then I will just have to summarize. I do have it somewhere. And I will.
You need a Mac, Shabir.
Huh?
That's why you need a Mac.
Yeah, that's right. That volume right there. Okay. So Raymond Brown writes in his 2-volume commentary, Christian tradition has identified this figure with the Holy Spirit, but scholars like Spira, De La Fosse, Windisch, Sass, Boltman, and Betts have doubted whether this identification is true to the original picture, and have suggested that the Paraclete was once an independent salvific figure, later confused with the Holy Spirit. Page 1135 of his second volume. That's in the Anchor Bible series, volume 29a. Now, how could biblical scholars be so stupid? Do they not see that it says the Holy Spirit? Well, they see more than we see. The old Syriac Sinaiticus manuscript of the Bible shows that the Holy Spirit there is absent. Like it says Spirit, but not the Holy. Bruce Metzger, in his work, The New Testament, Its Transmission, Corruption, and Restoration, with reference to John chapter 7, verse 39, says that the Holy, in reference to the Spirit, is the most natural sort of addition that scribes have made in the text. In this particular place, C.K. Barrett, in his commentary on John's Gospel, says that it may be the original reading without the Holy, in which case it just simply says the Spirit. Moreover, scholars like Windisch have actually written that the Paraclete sayings, the 5 of them which occur in the Gospel according to John, in chapters 14, 15, and 16, are later insertions into the Gospel according to John. He argues that if you were to take those statements out about the Paraclete, you will find that the Gospel according to John reads more smoothly than it does now. The Gospel according to John in these chapters speak about Jesus coming back a second time. And it does not seem that you need the Paraclete for Jesus to do that. In Matthew's Gospel, by comparison, Jesus says, I am with you always till the end of time. You don't need the Paraclete for that. If Jesus is always with you, what do you need the Paraclete for? If the Paraclete is the Holy Spirit. But now, there were factors at work that caused the Gospel according to John, or its writers, or its later redactors and editors, to insert these Paraclete passages, which means that they existed once before the Gospel was composed, and there were some pressing reasons for including them now. Raymond Brown, in his 2-volume work, actually explains to us the reasoning that led the editor to finally include the Paraclete sayings in the Gospel according to John. He gives 2 major reasons. He says that the apostles and eyewitnesses of the ministry of Jesus were passing away one after another. And there was a need in the Christian community to have a sense that we have the true and original teachings verified by divinity. Not by eyewitnesses because they're no longer here. The Paraclete fulfilled that particular requirement. Second, he explains in detail that there are many indications that the coming of Jesus was expected very shortly, and that did not occur. When it did not occur, the Paraclete fulfilled the need of the Christian community to have a sense that Jesus has occurred. So John then took sayings that spoke about the coming of the Holy Spirit and refashioned them to speak about the Paraclete and coined a new term, the Paraclete, in order to refer to this unique manner in which the Holy Spirit is going to come into believers. But this is where I disagree with Raymond Brown. Why would John coin the term Paraclete, which becomes such a confusing term? If one looks at the commentaries, generally the commentaries on the Bible proceed verse by verse. Suddenly in many of the major commentaries there is a break, or there is an appendix to deal with this question of how do you explain the Paraclete. Nobody knows how exactly to translate it. Many propose we just simply leave the word Paraclete as it is. There's no suitable translation. But then, why would John coin such a problematic term? I more agree with Windisch, who says that the term Paraclete already existed in these sayings. And for some reason, John then included these Paraclete sayings in his gospel. Now, if those Paraclete sayings are to be examined carefully, especially the last of them, in John chapter 16, in verses 12 and forward, one will find that in fact, this Paraclete is really a reference to a prophet, one who is going to come after Jesus, and he is going to speak what he hears. One can then look at the statements that follow it and seem to indicate again the Spirit. But Delafosse has shown that not only the term the Holy Spirit was inserted in John chapter 14 verse 26, but also in all of those passages that deal with the Paraclete, there are little additions that seem to indicate again, it looks like you're talking about a human being, but wait a minute, it is the Holy Spirit who lives in you and dwells in you, whom the world does not see, and so on. So Delafosse would have us remove all of those passages again to get to the original Paraclete saying, which to me refer to a prophet. Thank you.